James Brown once said, "This is a man's world, but it will be nothing without a woman." I'd like to say that this is definitely a world that is changing overall, and a lot of different things that we are experiencing, good and challenging, and lesson learning and character building. But the one thing that always has remained consistent is the power of a mother. See, a mom has always not only given and created life, literally a body inside her own, but she sacrificed everything that she has always represented, no matter how much flawed she can be or how many issues she may have or how much she does not know. One thing that she has always done is protect, serve, set up the child or the children for a better life. I certainly have experienced it myself, and I can tell you a whole lot of people that I know for a fact give kudos 100% to mom. Dad, you are a rock star as well. But mom, she doubled down on the shift that she does every single day. We're going to give a whole lot of love for many moms, and you're definitely going to hear about their journey. This is your Strategic Partner Show. Let's go.
I've been caught up since the day that we met, and you haven't seen the best of me yet. There's nothing like you and me together, and your eyes have been so hard to forget. But there's something you're trying to hide. There's something you're keeping inside. But I'm trying to get to know you much better. It don't matter how much time it takes. I just can't give up. Whoa, I just can't give up. Can't give up. I just can't give up. Oh, baby, I just can't give up.
That song said, "I just can't give up." And moms, man, they just never give up. So it's very, very appropriate. So I'm going to start with someone who is not a mom, and that is the man you love, Tokoyo Carlton, your strategic partner. What's going on, my man? How's your week going?
Man, everything is going fantastic. As you can see, man, I'm cheating so hard. I'm about to hurt my face right now. But you know, the whole thing is I'm super excited, man. As you know, Mother's Day weekend coming up here pretty soon, and you know, I just want to kind of really just kind of visit that a little bit. And it's kind of hard for me this year because early last year, as I was going through my transition of a heart transplant, May 31st of last year, 2 months before that, my mother had a massive stroke.
Yeah.
And she's and I didn't think that was gonna happen, but
You're human.
she's this is our first year for her Mother's Day, and she's still recovering. She's a champ, she's a Carlton, you know, still going through a lot. And so my dad's a champ, and he's, you know, playing Mr. Mom and dad as well, and taking care of my mother very, very well. I mean, I'm so proud of my father for being the man and husband that he is. But again, so excited this weekend to have my mother here with us still, and celebrating her with the family. So send it back to you, sir.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Kudos to Mama Carlton. We love you, and we are definitely excited to celebrate you once again this Mother's Day and many more to come. And all the way from Vero Beach, Florida, the one and only Debi Salmons. What's going on, Rockstar? How you doing?
Hey, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm doing great. And I am so stoked to be back. I missed you last week. I missed you a lot, but man, it was a great needed break. And I'm going to be talking about that a little bit, you know, with the ladies. And I'm going to be talking about it because we've got, you know, training tonight at the IM Media. I'm going to talk about that, you know, the needing to take a break. And Tokoyo, I feel you. And we're gonna let everybody know right now, there's gonna be some tears on this show tonight. There's gonna be some tears, but there's gonna be a lot of smiles, right? Because you know, there should be, right? My mom, first person I ever knew, right? Send it back to you.
That just sets it to let you know. And for those of you who are watching, by the way, we have some amazing ladies that I personally have known my whole life. But even so, do us a solid. Give give a shout out to your mom on a comment or wherever you may be watching. Let her know that she is appreciated, whether she's with us in this world or the other world. Just make sure she knows that you are thinking of her. All right, let me get going with our special guest this evening. I think you've known who she is. You've seen her many, many times. She is taking over New Jersey, the food business, and building multiple businesses right now. My personal sister, and of course, our vice president of operation of Medawi Enterprise, the one and only Tima Hardin. What's up, Jersey in the building, huh?
What is going on? This is my time to shine as my first job title, which is my mom, which is a mom.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. I love it. And for the very first time, actually, in a very long time that I had her in a video with me, but the very first time being featured in a show that I'm very proud of. And this woman, man, I call her my rock, and you all are going to hear a lot of that story. So, ladies and gentlemen, debuting in your strategic partner show, Mama.
Hello,
Miss Miriam.
hi everyone. I'm happy to be part of you. I'm honored to be here for you.
All right. Now, here's the beautiful thing. The fact that she's my mom and my sister just chuckled. You are going to hear Ali's real English through my mom right here and right now. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Every now and then I might pop in just to give you a translation. But here's the thing. Mama, I am so proud of you. I am so happy that you are here. It means the world to me. And I'm so glad we're doing this on Facebook, because this is going to come up forever and forever and forever and forever every year in my memories. And we all get to smile and cherish it together. So here's what we're going to do. Because this is an exclusive Mother's Day special, and we may also have a few more moms that are going to pop in. We're going to, meaning Mr. Carlton and I, are going to pass the platform to Mrs. Salmons, your strategic partner, who is going to have an honest conversation about what it means to be a mom and being a busy woman and being an entrepreneur and being a money maker and being a hustler and being a boss and being all those things that we talk about. So, Debi Salmons, we're going to be hanging out right in the hallway, if you will, in the virtual hallway. Anything you need, we got your back. Ladies, enjoy yourselves. I'm so proud to watch this in real time. So take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Whoa, look at that. He has handed over the controls.
About time.
How you feel about that,
The
team?
girls have to take over sometimes. I'm glad that they out.
I know. Well, you know what, though? We're going to start for sure by, thanking all the moms in the world, and the dads, right? Because there's a lot of dads that have had to step in and be the mom, just like moms have had to take on both roles. And, we've got stepmoms and friend moms and grandmoms and all of that, because, we know it takes a village, right? It takes a village to truly bring up your kids. But there is something special, hopefully with a bond with your own mom. And then I don't know about you ladies, the way I wanted to start this out, and we'll get into all of this, but I didn't realize that my mom was a separate human being until I was a teenager. Right? When you think about it, there's childhood development, right? We carry that child. He's completely dependent upon us while growing and developing, obviously, in our womb. And then they're, totally helpless. But then as moms, it's our job to guide them up and out. But it's very self-centered when we're young. We're very self-centered. We don't think that our moms are individual women or that they have their own life. It's all about the children, right? Yep. Correct. So I wanted to just let's start and talk about that. And Miriam, I'm going to go to you first.
Of course.
Because how did you feel with that? Did you, do you experience that same thing? Our children are so dependent upon us.
Yes.
That they forget we're human.
Yeah, they think that I was born like this age.
Yes.
They never believed that I was teenager one day. No. They think I'm born like this.
Right?
Yeah. And it's not.
Well, and I love it. I say to my kids all the time, I go, I really was young once.
Yes.
Right.
It's true.
Right.
And now they're mothers. She is mother. Now she understand. And now she asked me, how did you have 4 kids? How did you do this? How did you? I said, well, you're on the same path. You're getting there.
Yes. Atima, do you remember when you kind of started realizing that your mom was like her own person? Like, did it take you to have kids, or did you realize it before?
So the funny thing for me, I have an actual specific moment where I turned around and I apologized to my mom, because ever since I've known her, it was like, well, this is your job. Like, why are you complaining? If this is your responsibility, why are you complaining? This is what you're supposed to do. I didn't ask to give birth to me. You gave birth to me, right?
Yes.
Growing up, that was always the understanding. And then when I was pregnant with Mason, which is my first child, and I never forget, we were in a delivery room. I made sure she was there, my mother-in-law were there, right? Because it was her first grandchild, and I'm my mom's only daughter. So technically, it's a different type of thing, right? And I never forget, the doctor's like, I see the baby. And I looked and I just apologized to my mom. And I remember just telling her, I am so sorry for treating you like this was your job.
Yes.
You made the choice to make it your job, but it is not your job. If we're speaking from an actual honest point.
Yep.
But you treated it like this was the only thing you were born to do. And you did such a phenomenal job at that. And it installed that kind of drive in me to give my children the same. You know, a lot of times I'm like, Mom, should I do the dishes tonight or tomorrow? Like, no, do them tonight. Something so simple, know?
Yes.
So, but I understood her whole life as a mom the moment I was pushing Mason out, just to give you that.
I love it. It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And to go off of that, I don't know if you ladies felt this, but this is what I remember when I'm going to tell you guys little stories, and I want you to share your stories too. My oldest son, when I gave birth to him, he and I both died on the table twice in me while giving birth to him. I was in labor for over 5 days with him, and and actually was crash carted twice. Our hearts both stopped twice. So pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy entrance into the world. But here's what I remember feeling the minute he was born. All of a sudden, my heart was on the outside of my body. Meaning he was outside of my body. And now things that didn't necessarily concern me prior to his birth, all of a sudden made a difference, right? A headline on the news that, a school bus broke down, or there was a shooting, or there was a war, or all of that stuff now, because that human was now my heart outside of me, changed everything. Miriam, I can see you shaking your head. You know that feeling.
Oh, yes. Well.
And Miriam, we know that you come from Morocco, and so culturally there's lots of differences in the way it was. Please feel free to share anything about that experience and how you felt, growing up in the country in which you did.
Yeah, well, in Morocco, the woman 100%, no help from the husband, 100% she has to handle everything. But lucky I was, my ex-husband was on my side like 100%. He never, on all my kids, never left my side. Maybe I was lucky, maybe it was a miracle, but it was on my side. And I never had any issue with pregnancy or having a baby, thank God. Everything went smooth beside Ali, a little bit, hard time. But it was a miracle. I was so happy to have my kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and it's generational here, right? My dad he didn't do any of the mom things either, right? It was very traditional roles. He went to work, mom stayed home.
Yes.
Right.
And she has to handle everything, and that's it. That's how it
Yes.
goes. But
Yes.
in my part, as Moroccan, as the old-fashioned traditional society in Morocco, I have something a little bit different, like upscale. He was on my side. I will never forget that. That I give him that. He was on my side.
Thank goodness.
But when it come to her, when I was pregnant, this is the details. I was, because I had my second child with Ali. It was Ali, so I thought I would never can have a girl. My head told me I can never have a girl. So when I get her, they won't tell me in the hospital it was girl, because they thought I'm gonna go crazy. Which when I find out, they had to wait until he come. He told me, and even that, I did have my moment. I did have my hemorrhage. I did have my moment. I didn't sleep for 2 weeks because of her. I didn't. I went crazy.
Oh my goodness.
You're welcome.
Tima, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't have, I have two sons, but I have two stepdaughters who were older when I kind of came into their life. But, there is a special bond, I think, between a
Yes.
mother and a daughter.
Absolutely.
There truly is.
Yes.
I will tell you that my mom, one of the absolute greatest blessings of my life, and Miriam and Tima, you may not know this. Ali does, because I've shared this story many, many times, but I was blessed to be able to take care of both my mom and my dad at home, in their home, for the last 10 years of their life.
Wow.
My mom became very ill in 2009. And it was a terrible, terrible disease. It caused her pain all the time. And I had to move in and take care of them. There were a couple of breaks in between there. But this is where, Tima, I told you there may be tears.
Yeah.
My mom and I, first of all, did we get along all the time? No, we did not. But did we love and respect each other all the time? We did. And I'm so grateful for that. And she instilled so many things in me. But when she got older and she began having some of these medical conditions, there was something, and I have to tell you, it was from God, that I felt absolutely that it was my job now, right? It was her job to bring me up when I was little. It was now my turn to return that service and that love.
Yeah.
And I was blessed to be able to take care of them until their last breath. My mom went first in April of 2017. I can't believe it's already been that long. And I was with her to the last moment. And it was the greatest gift and blessing of my life. I remember she was immobile. She was paralyzed, and I would rub lotion on her legs, right? Because you have to keep moving them.
Yes. Moist.
And I felt God, whomever you want to call, in my fingertips when I touched her and I comforted her. And I would have to adjust pillows every 2 minutes, put lotion on her. But I have never felt closer to her or to my maker in those moments.
Yeah.
So I was blessed because life came full circle.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Right? Sorry.
This is why this tonight's episode is so special, because it's so authentic and
Yes.
it's so raw, and this is what moms do to us, and this is what we do. So I'm glad that you are being so honest with yourself and I respect you being honest with us with exactly how you feel and how you felt in that moment, because it shows that moment changed your life forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forever. because what I consciously, when I made the decision was to take care of my mom, was I wanted to have no regrets. And I wanted to pour back into her all of those little things that we do as moms that we take for for granted as kids. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I lost my mother. I was 17 when I lost my mother.
So young.
And she was sick. She had heart disease. She was sick for a while, for like 5 years. And we know the day was coming. The doctor told us, but I couldn't believe it. And she died the day of the big holiday. So one of our biggest holiday of the year. That's the day. And the night before, she was coming from the TV. I don't want anybody to watch it like this. I don't want anybody to watch the TV. Look at me. Look at me. Just me. I want everybody to look at me like that.
Really?
And yes, I want everybody to look at me like this. And she was blocking the TV. She doesn't let us watch the TV. And then in the middle of the night, she got her seizure. They took her to the hospital. And she passed away in the hospital. In the morning, because it was big holiday, me and my family, we said, okay, let's get the holiday ready, Mom. I don't want her to come get mad. Let's put everything together. It's holiday. Let's set up the table. And my young brother knows she passed away. He didn't know how to tell me. I said, what you standing at me? Come fix the table. She's coming. And then he slammed on his arm on the table. He said, no, she's not coming. My mom passed away. And then I don't remember for 2 days. I was not happy for 2 days.
Life-changing moment.
Yeah.
That alters your life.
Yeah.
Alters your life.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, because I think, here's what's so important, moms and dads, right? Yeah. Is to never take any moments for granted.
That's correct.
Moments for granted. Tell them that you love them.
Yeah.
Even when you're mad at them.
Yeah.
Right? Because we butt heads, but that's okay.
She make me feel it. She doesn't say it.
Tima.
She never says.
You're not saying I love you to mama.
So
she make me feel that I'm the queen in the world. That the word will never come out.
It's funny. All right. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but we're being honest, right? So can I just go for the kill, Debbie? You're allowed me to.
You got it.
I've always said that she had 3 girls and 1 boy, not 3 boys and 1 girl.
It's true.
Oh, there we go. There's the truth.
It's true. She's the toughest one of all of them.
And let me tell you, when things go wrong, I will not drop a tear. I won't shit. I'm so like, okay, you got into a car accident. What's next? What do we have to do? This is fine. I don't budge. It's insane how tough my skin is. But then 2 days later,
I was in the hospital, and the older boy came, who fixed my pillow, who set up bed me. The youngest, he's the one fix everything. Here she's coming. So I thought she's going to be nice. And she said, why did you don't listen? Why did you eat that? That's it, that she left.
Oh my goodness.
You know what it is?
We're all so different that way.
I'm going to tell you something, Debbie, and I'm going to share this with my mom on this show tonight. Because I've always had my mom, this is now falling in that hole of taking it for granted somehow. It just becomes normal. Like, I have my mom. Like, what's the problem, But as I've gotten older and I've realized the magnitude of her loss with her mom, and I try to compare that scenario with how lucky I am with my own scenario, I'm like, imagine you just had Mason and then you lost your mom. And I never forget, there was a time where I had this bizarre vision. I don't call it a dream. There's dreams and there's visions.
Yes.
Where we lived, we used to have a very long driveway. And I remember going down the driveway and there used to be a huge hole. And I would look down and my mom is there. It's almost like a graveyard. And I had that dream about 6 days in a row. It was weird. And that was God telling me, this is going to happen.
Yes.
But that long driveway was the long life. But it's going to be there one day, right? She's going to be gone, and I'm going to be gone with Mason, and Mason's going to be gone with you. That's just life, right? I'm not afraid of death. I've always accepted death in a weird, tight skin, tough skin that I have. But we all pray for the longest times we can have, you know?
Absolutely.
So because of her loss with her mom, how early it was, and how that changed her whole life up until now, and I'm sure for the rest of her life, that caused me to call more, to check more, to spend more time, to appreciate more, to learn more. And then I started realizing, because we've always been different with our likes.
Sure.
But we've all been the same with our loves. And I've always say that, you know, we love the same thing. We do the same thing. It's just, you like blue and I like pink.
Right.
Now it's too much.
But it doesn't mean we
too
don't
much like now.
But we don't.
Mama,
It doesn't mean we don't love color.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because sometimes she talk and I feel like I'm talking to myself. She just said that was me talking. She start talking exactly like me. It scared me.
It's a lot about nature versus nurture, but I'm gonna cut it real quick because our boss is messaging me. We've
Okay.
got to do just a quick plug, guys. Quick plugs, because as we know and Tina knows, we've got to pay the bills, right?
Yeah.
So we just want to remind you guys that tonight on iam.media, if you are not a member, guys, it's about $1.50 a day to join iam.media. It's down below. Tonight, we will be doing a special training in our members only Facebook group. And yours truly will be training on there tonight. And tonight, I'm going to be talking about going from a breakdown to a breakthrough. All right. So it's going to be exciting. So iam.media, $1.50 a day with your strategic partners. If you like what you're seeing here, take a look. We've got an amazing free app that goes with that. But tell a friend about it and tag a friend here, and we will see you tonight. So, ladies, I'm going to take this back, and I'm going to ask you some specific questions. Tima, I'm going to start with you. Okay. So I want you to tell us a couple of traits that you've gotten from your mom. Now we're going to do this two-sided. First, a couple of traits that you like, and then the flip side, maybe a couple of traits that you don't like that you picked up from your mom. And I'll share too, don't worry.
Okay. I think the best trait that I've gotten and that I've appreciated and I love that I've inherited from my mom is the ability to respect myself and respect others, despite of where they stand, who they've showed themselves up to be to me, how they've even treated me. She's always taught me, trust me, respect will always pay off at the end of the road. And people will always remember the respect versus the wrong words or the mean words that you've said. And because I hold on to that so dearly, I've always had blessings in my life, and I've always had bad relationships that later on blossomed into beautiful ones. And the beautiful ones that I've had have always blossomed into better ones. And especially my marriage, you can argue, you can disagree, you can fight, but you have to keep a line of respect.
Absolutely.
And once you cross it, there is no crossing back, because people forgive, but it's hard to forget. And patterns determined who people are and how much integrity they have. So probably that's my favorite thing that I've inherited from my mom. Always respect, respect, respect. That's a big one for me.
And that's seriously powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a foundational core value that obviously shapes your whole life. Yeah. Now, on the flip side, anything that you picked up from her that you kind of go, oh, I don't want to do that.
The anxiety that I get about those dishes in the sink. And the anxiety that I get about the house not being clean by 9 p.m. Yeah. It has actually really ruined some of my days, because I will like, you know what? You had a long day. You've worked, you've cooked, you've taken care of the kids. It is now 10:30 at night, go to sleep. And I call mom. I was like, Mommy, what do you think? Just go clean it real quick. Just put me on the ledge and I'll keep you company. And here I am cleaning for 3 hours. And then and here's the thing, she doesn't tell me, sweetheart, no, you're tired. She's like, doesn't that feel so good? And I'm like, and at first it was a habit, but now I actually really do feel anxiety that I'm actually trying to work on it, because
Good.
my husband tells me sometimes, it's been 4 days in a row that I have not seen you from 5 p.m. because he leaves at 4 a.m. He works in a city.
Right.
So he has to be in bed by 8. I don't come to bed until 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. So 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day. It's like, come on now. Like, are you cleaning the same counters that you've been, like, I don't understand.
Right.
So I've been trying to maneuver my schedule and understand that not everything needs anxiety. At the end of the day, there's going to be dishes every day and there's going to be laundry every day. Mom, please don't roll your eyes, please.
I thank you for being honest, because I've got the same thing. I've got, with my mom, I would say some of the traits she instilled on me that are really fun is always to be smiling, right?
And you always smile, always.
Smile through it all, right? Love and care about people through it all. Laugh, right? Definitely honesty and integrity and all of that. And I'm so grateful for all of those. And I always say all the time, because my mom is gone, I hear my mother come out of my mouth all the time. Every day I hear my mother and I go, where is she? And I go, oh, it's me. It's me, right? But I will tell you that I think we all have that, right? I already am aware that there are going to be things that my kids, as much as they love me, some of the things that I'm passing on to them aren't going to work for them down the road, right? And it doesn't mean that they don't love me, right? It just means that particular thing isn't helping them in their life at that time, right? And so one of the things I've actually had to spend a lot of time analyzing was, and again, it's never an attack on our moms, right? We're all just human. We have multifacets, right? Yeah. My mom was a very fear-based woman. She grew up very impoverished. And so she was not a dreamer, but she married a dreamer. So she had my dad, that was the dreamer, but she was always afraid about financial insecurity. Mm. And so that can rear its head with me at any time. And as a matter of fact, a lot of what we went through the past 3 years, it reared its head again. I felt that same anxiety and that fear. And I had to look at it. And I actually talked to my mom and I go, okay, Mom, I'm not you. Everything's going to be okay. I'm going to make it through this. Right.
Yeah.
So and again, I think that, I think it's important. It's all part of us understanding that we're human.
Yes.
And every single one of us, when we know better about something, we do better.
Yeah.
And I'll go to you, Miriam. But the other thing with my mom was she was also, she did not go to bed at night. Same thing. She went through the house. There couldn't be a cup, a glass on a table. Every light had to be shut off. No dishes in the sink. The closets had to be organized. Everything, same thing. Right. So I, for a good part of my life, Tima, did that same thing. But it was my children's birth that stopped because I wanted to be more present with them and I homeschooled them. So, there's a whole different aspect, right? Course. Whole different aspect. So Miriam, I know you lost your mom young, but certainly there are things that you can remember and traits that you feel that she instilled on you, if you'd share them.
Yes. First, she was always, first of all, we have different personality. She was very tough, like Fatima. She's exactly tough like her. Our little, always soft, crying for everything, easy crying.
Yep.
And every time she used to be so funny. Then I get that from her. I was troublemaker. I was the queen of the troublemaker. And I stop it until I get grandkids. But now my kids, I said, when I do some trouble, said, "Oh, I did that." I said, "Well, it's not new. It's normal. We used to you like this. I always do trouble.
Yes.
That I am very known with that. Like sometimes I don't mean it, but it's trouble." On the other hand, she, like Fatima said, we are so strict. The discipline was so strict. I cannot tolerate bad word. I cannot tolerate bad word. If I hear one bad word, my blood start boiling for some reason. Even from the street, if I walk some store and someone say curse or something, I leave. I drop everything and I leave. I'm so obsessed with that. Which is for her, she disciplined a bit. She said it's not big thing, but to me, it was.
Yes.
It was until it affect me in my life. Like when I was in high school, when I passed by a group of girls, said, "Oh, be quiet. The nun is coming. Don't say anything." The nun. They call me the nun because I cannot tolerate bad word. So I grew up like this. Even if the job I used to work in, I cut off. I said, no cursing in a workplace. You go outside and you curse. Not here. So this is something that she didn't have that I have. But the other side, she was very, very strong and strong personality, secure personality. I mean, everybody has to come to her for advice, for everything, which I don't have that.
Well,
Yeah.
see, can I interrupt?
Of course.
See, you think you don't have that, but it's funny because every decision we want to make between each other, we're like, oh, well, let me tell mom first. Well, let me tell mom first. So although you feel like you don't have it, you are the reason we've made every single decision we've had so far, from the first one to the second one to the third one, and me being the best one out of all of them. But every single decision, because I've always felt that you've experienced everything in life. You've experienced a very luxurious life, and then losing luxury, and having a mom, to having no mom, and having a father but having no relationship with that father, and then being married, and then not being married, and then remarrying, and then being a single mom, and then having to come to another country, and then having to bring kids to that country, and then introducing them to a new husband, and then being a strong woman like your mom, even though you think you weren't strong enough. I feel like you've endured so many. Not everybody goes through all these titles in life, and you went through all these titles in life. And I feel like because of what you actually went through, that's why we come to you with all these things, because your advice to us is not biased. It's not where, well, I think, or I've read. It's actually where I've been through that path.
Yeah.
And me doing this and that caused me this and that. What you do is you don't enforce us to make a choice. And that's a different. Maybe your mom was strong enough to say, well, I know this is the right thing and you better do the right thing. For you, it's, I know this is the right thing, but I want you to make that choice.
Yes.
I don't want to be responsible over your failure or your success.
Yes.
I want you to grow through your own decisions. So that thing.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always do that. Yes.
Yeah.
That is extremely powerful, and that's hard to do as a parent. It is. I mean, because we've got all different ages. My sons are 24 and 26. Tima, how old is Mason?
He's 7.
Seven.
He just turned
7.
in April.
Yeah, and so we got all Aprils here. I'm April too.
And my brother's April. We're a bunch of Aries, and my father.
Yeah, watch out for us Aries, huh?
I love my Aries. Oh, that's why I like you. I love my April babies.
But it's we do the best we can with the knowledge that we have at the time, and when we know better, we do better. I always say, we every generation, I feel like the hope is that we take the best of the previous generation and hopefully pass that on.
Absolutely.
And the stuff that's not so great, hopefully, falls off, so that each generation gets better and better. Right. And again, I think so much comes with not only time. My parents were 1950s parents. There was a certain way of bringing up children culturally, and it changes. And I think we've got like kind of 3 generations here. I don't have any grandchildren yet, right? And so. But I already worry about that, Miriam. I go, oh my gosh, like, how do you keep your mouth shut with your grandchildren, right? Because they're not your children.
It's another feelings.
Yeah.
It's completely another feelings. Because my
no rules apply when it comes to the grandchildren, Debbie.
None?
All right? They get to do what they want, sleep when they want, laugh when they want. I'm like,
I think that's just payback. But I think that's the reward from surviving parenting your own children.
When I come with all the rules, just leave them alone. Come here, sweetheart. Come here. I'm like, oh my God, have I done that back in the day? I would have been done. For
my old son, his son did something a long time ago. And I did same thing. I said, let it go. He's too young. I said, really? You the one talking? Well, let me tell you. He went to him and said, let me tell you this woman, what she did to me when I did same thing in your age.
I know. Well, all I know is that's what I hear from everybody is that's the great reward of grandparenting, because we really, yes, it takes a village, but it is up to the parents to really be the ones that instill, what their goals are, what their rules are, right? And I think that it can be hard to step off. My mom was really great about that as well. But I would ask her advice, and if I asked her, she would tell me, right? Yeah. She didn't really volunteer the advice because she's like, they're your children, right? And then there was differences. My mom didn't work when we were little. Now I stayed at home as well, but I began having my own home-based business,
of course.
Which of course that takes another whole role. And you're experiencing all that too. I mean, it's a lot. And that's why we have to honor our moms, because let's just be honest, most of the time the kids want mom, right? No matter how much they love their dad. They fall down, they skin their knee, they usually run to mom, right? Yes, they want something to eat, where's mom, right? I believe that we were, put on this earth to be the nurturers that way. Yeah. So, but it's a balance. And I want to just mention this one last thing is that, it's a new relationship with our spouse once a child comes into the picture as well. And sometimes those spouses are like, well, all that attention is going to that child now. So, Tima, since you've got the youngest here, how have you and your husband managed with that, with you working, with you, now having, a child, and all of our attention doesn't go to our spouses anymore?
So I feel like everybody has a little story. My little stories, I've always been told by doctors that I was never supposed to have a child. Never. Yeah. They told me I had a 1 in a 683 chance.
Wow.
That's how, So I remember when, I was pregnant with Mason, and it was so shocking. The doctors told me it was a false pregnancy. There was a sac, there was no yolk, there's going to be no baby. You can wait 6 weeks, or you can, just kind of get it removed. Now, I remember my mom and Ali said, listen, God made you wait for this moment for a reason. Give him enough credit. Right? They said no, and now look at you, and just believe. You have to have faith. And I remember I prayed, my husband and I, we prayed for 6 weeks straight, every single day. And 6 weeks later, there was the most beautiful heartbeat. Now, the funny thing, Mason's due date was on Ricky's passing grandmother's birthday. So he was 4/16, hers was 4/19. So he came 3 days earlier, but that was his initial due date. Now, 3 years prior, me and Ricky were just not even together. She was in a coma. She had woke up, and she's telling my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, they weren't my in-laws back 2 years ago, and she's talking to the Ricky's father, who's Rick, and she's telling him, bring me that pretty baby boy. Bring me that pretty baby boy. He's saying, no, this is not little Ricky. This is big Rick. No, that's little Ricky. Tell him to bring me that little pretty baby boy. Now, again, going back to the present, I get pregnant, false pregnancy. I end up having a baby boy. We're doing the reveal. And Ricky's like, I know you think it's a girl because I've had dreams. She had curly, beautiful hair and dimples. Like very pretty. I think it's a boy. And my mother-in-law's like, I think it's a boy. And my mom's like, well, whatever it is, just be grateful. So, but it was such a beautiful kind of, and it ended up being a boy. So that video was actually correct. And the due date was, which is so funny, that how it all, you know,
out.
And my neighbor's house is 4/19, which is her birthday. And the other neighbor's is 4/22, which is when she passed, which is so funny.
All cosmically connected.
Correct. So I've always felt like Mason was made for me to love my mom. He was made for me to understand my mom. He was made for me to appreciate her, you know? And having Mason, it made me realize how lucky I was to not go through the struggle she went through. And it made me realize how blessed I was. I have a mom, I have a father, I have a stepmom and a stepdad and a mother-in-law and a father-in-law and a husband. And not only I had a husband who was so obsessed with being a father, who was present. I mean, a needle will drop and he's like, what do you need? What? And he's so calm. He is, ask my mom, for the first 3 years she met him, he didn't even speak. That's how calm and reserved he is. He's just that he has such an aura about him that brings serenity to you and simplicity and acceptance of the things you cannot change and accepting the things that you can. But having Mason actually made us go through this yield sign because we were so shocked that God chose us to finally be parents, that we became so obsessed. And I'm a very big, I used to be a bio major. I was a pre-med major. So I was so obsessed with the right nutrients and breastfeeding. And you can ask anybody about me. I don't play with that stuff.
Yes.
So we became so sucked into this new world that I no longer knew him for him. And he forgot who I was for me. And we went through this really dark times, me and him, where we couldn't hang out without Mason. And when we did, like when my mom took him, when my mother-in-law took him, we're just like, hey, how are you? Good? Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So it created a dent. But come Bryson, Lord Jesus. So we call Mason our love and we call Bryson our happiness.
Got it.
So Bryson came smiling from the womb.
Yes, we call him Smiley since he was born.
I love it.
And I pray, Debbie, that you get to meet Bryson one day because he will have you.
Oh, I will.
He will have you laughing hysterically.
Yes, nonstop.
But with Bryson, we made a vow to each other that we're going to have us time. We're going to do painting together. We're going to travel together. And we're going to go to a restaurant and sit and share mozzarella sticks for all I care together.
Yes.
And create that time because we cannot lose. We and him were college sweethearts. So we've been together since we were 18 years old.
Yes.
And I'm now about to be 33. So we've been together for 14, 15 years almost. But better late than never. I'm happy that all the good stuff is coming now versus the opposite. Because a lot of people, their stuff is good at the beginning. And then it starts to become bad and it goes downhill. So for us, we've been going more uphill. And it's been, we definitely have a phenomenal friendship and relationship. And we co-parent. We understand what is your thought, what is my thought. Make me understand what is. I'll make you understand what is. And we never disagree in front of the kids, no matter who's right, who's wrong.
Yes.
Excellent.
We have mastered that actually. And I've always said, like a small example. Why do you let them listen to music with bad words? It used to drive me crazy. So one day he pulled me to the side. And as much as I hated it because of my mom, of course, she inherited that from her.
Yep.
And he says to me, I'm going to tell you something. there's going to be children who curse. There's going to be adults who curse. I want my child to understand what a curse word is and that it is disrespectful to say it. And I don't want him to be foreign to it, because if he goes out in the world and he hears it from somebody else, it's going to deteriorate himself and is going to hurt his feelings. So I need him to understand, oh, what? My father told me what that is, and I'm not going to let you hurt my feelings, but I'm not going to use it against you either. So I thought that was a very good, not necessarily lesson for what the bad words can do or cannot do, but it was a good lesson for, just because I don't understand your perspective, it doesn't mean that it's not right. And I need to just believe in it and trust you that you are a good parent. And I have to give you your credit, and I have to give you your chance to parent, just like you give me the chance to parent as well.
Yeah, it is excellent. That is so excellent. You know, I had my children later. I didn't have my children till I was 32 when I had my first son. So it was funny because everyone would say to me, you know, you've got to make sure that you and Billy are still having your date nights. Make sure you're doing this and you're doing that. And I was the same way, Tima, but he was as well, because we had already kind of lived a life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we were fully engaged, and like that's what we wanted to do now was the kids. And but we still did make sure, whether it was a lunch or sometimes honestly it was just you know, they were sleeping, and we would take sit on the deck or something, some sort of time. And it's hard to do. It's really hard to do it when it gets really, really busy. But I think as long as the parents are communicating their needs. And again, like you said, you know, a lot of people, we go into having children and we haven't really talked about what our beliefs are.
Yeah. Right.
And I, for one, think that that's, you know, really important, because we all come from different backgrounds, different parenting. Some, like we've just talked about, some parents are super strict,
Yes,
and hit their children. Some people don't believe in that at all. Right. And so, you know, that's the task in finding those, you know, common grounds. And the best thing you said that makes me so happy as a psychologist is that you don't fight in front of the children.
absolutely.
Now, I think, contrary to belief, I think children should know that parents don't always agree.
Correct.
Right? But they shouldn't have to see it in an explosive form. Yeah. What they need to be modeled is that, yes, mommy and daddy don't agree, but mommy and daddy are going to have adult conversations with care and compassion on how to get there. Right? Yeah. So, hey, listen, I think it's time, because we still have our little motivational moment with Mr. Takoyo Carlton to come on and motivate us, brother. Welcome back. Oh, you're muted, I think, or I'm catching him quick on the fly. I'm not sure which.
I think he has his mute on, his mute button.
All right, good stuff. All right, there we go. So here's the thing, guys. I'm really excited here. I'm watching my little bro, Ali Madawi, sitting down at the bottom of the screen. He's just got his head down. You know what he's doing right now? He's adding this stuff to the book. He's like, oh, this is juicy. I know that's what he was doing. I'm like, I know this guy.
Oh, yeah, he's also crying. He's also crying, but go ahead.
Hey, but also I got to throw this in there too as well before we get started. Tima says, you know, I'm pretty cool. I'm level-headed and blah, blah, blah. And then she had a little moment where she had to try to catch herself. So yeah, got you. But here's the thing, guys. My name is Takoya Carlton. Of course, this is a motivational moment. And I just want to kind of give you something today to really just, you know, take you back a little bit. We talk about the ABCs, and for most of us, it's like going back to school, right? Do you remember ABC? Those are the first three letters that we learn as young men and women, right? And so again, listen, ABC isn't just ABC anymore. So as adults, ABC stands, right, for ask. And so again, we have to be strong enough, bold enough, right, confident enough to ask for what we want. See, most of us never get what we want because we choose not to ask, right? We never receive, right? It goes something like this. You have not because you what? Ask not. So again, A, going back to school, A is ask. B is believe. So once you ask for a thing, you have to believe for that thing. And of course, listen, I could always go back to what we were talking about. Tima talked about, hey, listen, it was that glimmer. It was that thing. We spent 6 weeks. We asked for this. We prayed for this. And 6 weeks later, we continue to ask. We continue to pray, right? They asked, but also not only did they ask, they believed that it would happen. And of course, here comes my little man, right? So again, congratulations for that. But again, it started with the ask. Letter B, it secondly started with believing in what you asked. Letter C is that you have to claim it. So not only did they ask, not only did they believe it, but they claimed it, right? Yeah. And so again, guys, that's the whole thing. We have to get serious. We have to get focused. We have to ask what we want for. And then, of course, we have to believe in what we ask for. And then, of course, we have to go work. See, that's the part that most people don't understand, that, work only comes in a dictionary first. I'm sorry, I'm saying it all messed up. But again, work only comes in a dictionary first before success. And so, success comes before work in the dictionary. And so, guys, understand this. You have to work for the thing that you ask for the thing that you pray for the thing that you believe in. You have to go work, execute, and make it happen to come to fruition. And so again, guys, that's my ABCs of life. And again, it stands for ask, believe, and then claim it. So with that, it's been a plum pleasing pleasure. I look forward to seeing you guys at the top, from the top, or over the top. Take care, take charge, and we send it back to our incredible young women.
Oh man, that's powerful stuff, Takoyo. Powerful, powerful. Oh my gosh. So I want to just say a little bit about the Madawis and Ali and how grateful I am, Miriam, to you for your children that I have been blessed to meet thus far. And I look forward to meeting all of your extended family. I met you in Tampa, and I told you then. Amazing, amazing children.
Thank you.
Amazing. And yes, we each have to exert our own energy and direction and growth in life, but it starts with mom. Yeah. It starts with mom. So I want to thank you for your children, for everything you did, for the courageousness that I've only heard the top of. I've only heard the tip of the iceberg of your story. And it brings me to tears, and it lifts me up, right? It lifts me up. And so what I'd like to do is bring Ali back on so that he can read a page of this amazing book and this journey that he's on with all of you and your family to bring this out to the world, because I have goosebumps right now just waiting for him to read a page. Ali, do you want to let your mom pick the page?
Yeah, I figured you're gonna put it on blast like that. Yeah. So mom, because you watch everything that I do, I'm sure you already know what we're doing. But in case you missed it, so every time we have the show, I read a page of the book that I'm writing, which you've been helping with, team has been helping with, and everybody in the family has been. So what we do is you got to pick a page, and then I just read that page just to kind of share a little glimpse from the book itself. So you go from page 1, and you can go all the way to 58, 1 to 58. What you got?
Pick your birthday. Mom,
I don't know.
Just pick a number.
Okay, April 17.
Okay, that's multiple numbers. Just pick a number.
17.
17. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I've read this one before. Go ahead.
Did you?
Yeah, because remember, that's July 17th. I think 7 and
Oh yeah. So yeah, this is okay. That's okay. This is from a chapter called What is Sex? All right, page 17 from a chapter called What is Sex from a book called Forgivable Sins, coming March 2023. So it's for a work in progress. All right, here we go. So I got to go a little bit back just so I can put context. All right, you ready, Mama? You ready for this? Okay, here you go. Page 17. I can't believe you picked page 17 out of whole pages.
Can you
Okay,
do
we got
25?
no, just it's okay. Because the whole point is for me to challenge myself because this is a work in progress for me. I got to work on myself too. It's
All right, go ahead.
real time healing. Here you go.
Hit
All right.
it.
Uh, Fadila had finished with her routine and chores. I remember vividly. It was afternoon. We had the property door, which had a heavy duty metal door, and it opened to 20 steps. Then there was a second wooden door that had a keyhole from both sides. It opened to the foyer of the house. The bathroom was to the left, and next to it, the full bath. To the right was the kitchen, a long hallway that connected the rest of the house. The living room, which was so big, had two living room styles, a traditional Moroccan side, which was like a long cushion wrapped around against the walls with fine materials. It was so high, and it was so high end, we weren't allowed to sit in it unless it was a special occasion. The other half was the typical modern style, which with wicker chairs and thick cushions. The entry to the living room had an arch door and white wallpaper with a light gray decorations on it. The Turkish carpet was the pride and joy of the house, and the heavy pure wood round table set in the middle as if it was the royal knights as if the royal knights were to meet for their next battle. The television and the entertainment center was a double cassette tape player with a radio antenna and a huge speaker everyone in the neighborhood heard when music was playing. 4 feet across the living room door, there was the parents' room, a queen size mattress with a huge dresser and nightstands on each side of the bed. Bubba's side had a green telephone with the ring dialer. Directly to the master bedroom's far right, and in the center of the end of the hallway, there was our bedroom. 3 beds with a lot of space and a double sliding door closet built in the end of the wall, and one window on each side of the room. Sharing these details should give you an idea on how scarred I was by this house and my childhood in it. For you to understand the mindset of this extra happy guy comes from the darkest places life could have taken him. Fdela knew because the door had a double keyhole, if you put the key in from the inside, no key from the outside could open it, which would force a door knock or a perfect alarm system for her. She had asked me to go to the living room and change my clothes. I took off my clothes, but there was nothing to change into. She went on to say, "You don't want to wake your sister up. That would get us both in trouble. But for now, you and I are going to play." She then asked me,
I want you to stop.
"It's okay, Mama."
That's it.
That's okay.
I want you to stop.
All right, I'll honor Mama and I'll stop.
It's okay, Autumn Mama. It's okay. It's it's amazing the healing and the process that y'all have to go through with this book. And I honor you and I appreciate you guys for doing this.
Back to you, Debi Salmons.
Thank you, Ali.
Do you wanna read the part that you complimented me so nicely?
No,
Okay, I just thought to throw it out there.
not today.
It was Mother's Day.
I'll pass it back to you, Debi, for any final thoughts.
All right, thank you. So guys, Miriam, we love you. We love you. Healing journeys are not easy for anyone. But again, this is what I need you to to understand, Miriam, that this is a gift, not just for your family, but this is a gift for many, many, many of us.
Yeah, but I feel guilty for the rest of my life. I think I'm gonna take the guilt with me to my grave because I didn't protect my child.
Mama, you did the best that you could do in the
Mom, can I tell you
circumstances
something?
you were in.
Can I say something? Remember when I called you and it was so little and I was like, I left Mason with a double ear infection. I can't believe I did that to him. And what kind of remember that when I was
Yeah,
calling, I was crying so hysterically because I couldn't believe myself.
yeah,
And you turned around, I never forget, and you said to me, you didn't know. And if you knew, you would have done A, B, and C.
yeah.
Amen.
That's the same thing. There's 1,000 things that you've done phenomenal, and the things that you didn't do phenomenal is because you didn't know were happening or you didn't know any better. If you knew what was happening and you said, oh, well, that's nice, and moved on, then I would say, well, absolutely. I would, you know me, I'm the tough one. I'm like, yeah, you better take that with you somewhere. You got to put that in your pocket. But everything that have ever went wrong, you either didn't know of or you didn't know better for. And then on the flip side, we wouldn't be where we are here today talking about Mason and having this show and Ali having the freedom and the courage to write what he is writing if you did not do the sacrifices that you have made as a mother. And that's why I wanted you to be here today, because I know sometimes you feel like you weren't good enough. But you fixate yourself in all the wrongs that you don't see all the 99% rights, and you don't see that I am you. And the way you are proud of me for being me is because I am a reflection of you. So every time you feel like you're down, you see me and you say, well, you know what? Right? You talk about my food and my highlights and how I'm a boy and all that stuff. And you should be proud of who we are, not because of us, but because of you. You gave us courage, and you gave us integrity, and you gave us honesty, and you gave us love, and you gave us God. And you always allowed us to understand that things happen for a reason, and you need to accept them, and you need to see the lessons in the downfalls, and then you'll see the blessings in your downfalls. And because of who you have been to us, our kids now are you, and their kids are going to be you, and you are going to live forever after that.
Can I chime in?
No, it's Mother's Day. You do not. This is not Ali tonight.
Can I,
Go ahead.
I want to talk to my mama.
Yes.
So I'm the miracle baby. That's what you said once when we were writing, right? I want you to understand, I was chosen to be what I'm doing right now. I want you to understand. Y'all are in trouble. The boss lady's here. I want you to understand, I was picked to go through what I've gone through because there are tens of thousands of people that I have an opportunity to talk to every year who have gone through what I've gone through. I want you to know that it's not your fault that the world has bad people in it. However, mama, look at me.
She's listening. Go ahead.
You have given me the opportunity to heal. You have given me the opportunity to be the man that I am today, because guess what? In 1998, you've made the hardest decision you could have made to leave your kids behind with just the hope that one day you're going to give them the life that they have right now. Had you not made that hard decision of leaving 4 children behind and coming to the States and cleaning houses and doing all the sacrifices that you've done, there would be no Mason. There would be no Bryson. There would be no Sebastian or Isabel. There would be no happy Ali Madawi that the world thinks that Mr. Motivational Speaker. There wouldn't be anything. So you may focus on one little tiny piece of my life, on a week maybe of my life, but I want you to know you've given me 36 years of happiness, joy, and success. And that is what I would love for you. You know, when me and you talked earlier, and I said, I'm gonna be real. Me and Mom had a conversation earlier. Here was me. Do me a solid. If you're not going to say something happy and positive and make me feel happy, don't say anything right now, because I want you to make me happier. I want you to make me feel good. I don't want you to tell me anything negative or sad, because right now there's a lot of good things in my life, and everything that I've had happened good only happened because I blocked out the negativity. So I need you, Mom, to be the most happy, positive, sweet that you can be. And she goes like, and you know I'll do whatever it takes for you to do that. So I have been blessed to have you for 36 years of my life, and it's been the best thing ever. So thank you, Mama.
Amen to that.
All right. Hey, Debbie, it looks like the real boss. You called the boss earlier. It looks like the real boss just jumped on.
Yes, my
This
goodness.
is, do you know this never happens, right?
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever had you on a Zoom, my darling.
No, not you have had her in a Zoom. I have never had her in a Zoom. I have never had her in a live. I've never had my wife. Matter of fact, my wife would literally tell me, like, you put me on camera, I will tell them what you're doing is a scam. That's like how far she would go to not be on camera. Okay. So I'm so proud of you, sweetheart. Happy Mother's Day early, but happy Mother's Day. And Debbie, I don't know if you have something, because you're the host with the avocado toast today.
She was trying to get let back in there. She is.
Yeah, her phone, her computer died on her.
Yeah. Well, again, listen, it's all about moms, right? It's we're human beings. We've got good, we've got bad, we make mistakes, we succeed, but we keep on trying, right? And Miriam, you are an absolute amazing role model. Amazing role model. We fall down, we get up, but we love our children to the depths of our souls. We do those unbelievably hard things. I cannot imagine what it was like to make the choices that you had to make with your children. But Takoyo and I can sit here outside of your family and right, Takoyo?
I know. I'm sitting
say,
here.
This family is amazing. Amazing.
It's so crazy because, like, we look at our past, and I said that before, is that the past is the past. And of course, it's a memory, but it's like living in the present right now, just to see your family, see Ali, his wife, his kids, just how everybody interacts. And not just Ali and his immediate family, but to watch the extended family come together, and everybody's just one team. Everybody's cohesive. Everybody loves Mom. You know how many times we've talked and spoke about Mom? You know, it's like,
yep.
You know, and I know, you know, it's not good to hear, and, you know, we try to bury those things, but it's like everything happens for a reason. And it's like it came out for everyone in your family to become this. I don't even know how to describe your family. Like it's very rare to see how you guys operate, you're right, as a whole unit. And it's just, I mean, I just marvel at it as I sit here every time and just watch and listen. I just love your family. I love everyone here. And I'm super, super blessed to actually to know y'all, to be in your space. So I'm hoping that some of the stuff that you put into your kids rub off on me and my family, right? So again, thank you for sprinkling whatever that pixie dust, whatever that stuff you put on these kids that you fed into them and gave to them for 36 years. I'm so happy and blessed that you did what you did and taught these kids the right way and being the mom that you are today. So thank you.
And listen, Takoyo, Maritza's mic is open. Her mic is open.
I just wanted to say thank you so much.
The end. Oh, hold on. She's like Russell Simmons, right?
Yeah.
He comes on stage and leaves.
You know, I mean, and we'll end on this, you guys. You know, moms, we start the legacy. Miriam, you're able to look right here and see your legacy.
Yep.
Your legacy, where you came from, all the struggles you went through, right? That Ali went through, and you know, and Tima and Maritza, and they're going to have their own struggles with their children. But the foundation began with you, Miriam.
Thank you.
And so happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Thank you. And you too.
And this was absolutely awesome. So guys, I am media, right? Take a look. We've got our show. My goodness, almost 45 minutes. I'll be going live for our members only group on Facebook. Guys, it's $1.50 a day is about what it turns out to be to become a member, where we'll pour into you with strategic partners. We're going to pour into you with all kinds of mindset and all kinds of different ways to grow and scale or start a business. So I hope we can see you there. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms, whether it's biological mom, stepmom, fill-in mom, dad being mom, whatever it is. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
Love you
Be
guys.
good.
Bye.
Bye.